Welcome everyone. Gary Schick here with Adam Burke, and Brian Perdue is up on video also with the Quest partner team. Happy December 12th already. It's hard to believe we're midway through December. Thank you for taking the time out today. I appreciate you joining for our quarterly partner review. Adam, next slide if you can. We've got a pretty good session here today. Adam and I obviously are going to be your hosts. Brian, you're just going to have to look at his face. If you're up on video, Brian has got his tree up and ready to go there as well. So welcome, Brian. Next slide. So just a couple of things. For those of you that are not up on the AI recording it independently, we will also have a recording of this available up on the Quest partner website afterwards. So very happy to have that being posted up there from our marketing team. This is an interactive partner forum. I think everybody comes in default on for mute. If you would like to chime in or say something along the way, we got a lot of content to rip through today, but it is interactive and you are free to chime in with a question if it's relevant there. If we don't get to it on the spot, we'll get to it at the end. And thank you for those who are here. We are going to be also doing an e-gift card at the end of this session. So marketing group is keeping care of that and we'll get that out as well. Next slide, Adam. Yeah, so just going to screen through a couple of things here. The big, obviously, part of the presentation, Mr. Adam Burke, our VP of Sales and Channels, got some great content to go through from differentiators, some announcements. I'm going to do a quick company overview for those of you who are new to Quest. I want to welcome you to the session. We'll wrap it up. We do have some Q&A that was submitted as well. And Adam, that's on the next slide there, I think. Thanks to those of you that did submit your questions. We're going to pull this up at the end also. A lot of this content is going to be covered, I think, in the presentation here. Very much appreciate these. We do look at these. We will be responding to these independently as well if we don't get to it during the call today, but definitely wanted to make sure we've got that. So real quick about Quest. Founded in 1982. I have our website address on there as a reminder to myself that we are questsys.com. There's a lot of different Quest companies up there. We were founded in 82, headquartered up in Northern California. Very simple go-to-market strategy for 40 plus years. How can we help? We are vendor agnostic. Customers, need all sorts of things. I have the old OSI model on the right side there for those of you who are old enough to know what that is. Customers need help up and down the stack from their physical layer, from their cabling up through route switch, security, application development, all the areas around that, a lot of consulting. The things that are our primary pillars and services, you can see there on the left. I don't need to read everything over there. When I say we do this by way of extension, that means you do too. You have access to our entire portfolio, top to bottom, on the services. For products, professional managed services, and whatnot. We do have a global footprint. So some of you ask, hey, you're a managed service provider. Where you're located? We are headquartered in Northern California. We've got our primary network and security operations center there. We also have the center over Manila, Philippines, also over in Europe. Kind of the follow the sun model there. And we're also in about 25 or so what we call service delivery centers. We don't own those facilities, but we have between 500 and 10,000 square feet. Customers need, for whatever reason, they land in a colo or data center space and they need some affiliated services with Quest. These are the dots where we have customer presence. If we don't have a dot in your city, Des Moines, Iowa, we can certainly do that. That is part of our strategy, is to really be where the customers really need our services to be. And you can see all the 3 and 4 letter acronyms there of all the different services that we have. Next slide, Ed. So, wow, where does Quest fit? So I was not able to get the entire list of 400 different suppliers in the TSD portfolio there, but there are a lot of them up there. And for the most part, I'm going to generalize a little bit here. Most of the companies in the TSD portfolio are, I'll call them supplier advocates. They advocate for themselves, which is what they should do. AT&T is going to represent AT&T, which will be different than NTT, which will be different than, different providers and whatnot. They're going to sell the line card that they have. Where we've been coming to market and where we've been successful for a long time is similar to the trusted advisors and and agents on the call here today, we like you are a customer advocate. Hey, what are you trying to do? What's your outcome that you're seeking? And we can bring all the different products and services and consulting globally anywhere in the world to really meet that. Oftentimes with some of the providers in the portfolio there, very happy to wrap all that into a supplier consolidation thought. Next slide, Adam. And again, from a differentiator, again, just focus again on the business outcome is really the big piece here, vendor agnostic. Customers and the TSD SE team will really kind of lean to Quest. We're very, very big in what we call integrated services. So as you start to, add slices of the pizza wheel there, if you need products secured and cabling and day two support with some consulting to it, as you start to add different services to the actual business outcome is really where Quest differentiates from a lot of the other suppliers who may be kind of single threaded on that line. And so we call it a building block approach, and it is highly, highly customized to suit the customer requirements. And we're really addressing gaps that oftentimes come, customers buy things from whoever, and that supplier doesn't always do things there. So we're very, very good at complementing, rounding out the different portfolio and whatnot, supplying those gaps. And that's, I'll leave it at that for now. We can certainly go into a capability review deeper if you'd like to do that. Okay, next slide. And with that, my job is mostly finished. I am pleased to introduce, for those of you that don't know him, our guest of honor, Mr. Adam Burke, our VP of Sales and Channels, to talk a little bit more about how we're different, have some great announcements, and how we're winning and getting some business over there. So Adam, I will turn it over to you, sir, and thank you for your time this morning.
Yeah, no, thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. And thank you everyone for making some time today to hop on the partner forum. This is interactive, so if there are any questions or if you want us to drill down on anything specific, please hit us up in the chat. The guys in the team will help respond to anything, follow up afterwards, or we can kind of jump into it and have an interactive discussion here as well. So kind of ripping right through where we're winning, right? We are continuing to see a lack of availability in technology support in the small and up to the large middle market customers, right? So our sweet spot continues to be the 100 user to the 2,000, 3,000 user space. So growing out of that SMB model into the middle market, fantastic opportunities. The partner channel team and you guys and your teams have closed multiple complex managed service deals. We're going to talk about a couple in a minute in that middle market space where we're leveraging multiple suppliers. And really what that comes from is just there's so much out there that organizations are trying to deal with, from security to application modernization to ongoing support and maintenance. They're struggling to keep up with everything that's changing so quickly. So we're losing talent, right? People are retiring and moving on. And also the complexity is increasing. So fantastic opportunity for you guys to attack that middle market and help them achieve what they're looking for. 80%, we're still seeing 80% of end users are kind of what we call, DIY. They want to do it themselves. They want to buy the gear. They want to buy the licensing. They want to go, leverage, maybe you as a trusted advisor to go vet the 3 different EDR suppliers or MDR suppliers or whatever. That's fine. That's great. That's going to continue. We're not seeing that change at all. And we help source, supply, and deliver that technology with you as well. You have access to our entire book of business. Now, where it's challenging, and this is also a thing that you guys might be seeing out there, after they make that purchase, about 70% of those projects fail to meet their stated objective, right? So they do not reach their stated objective, or at least a 50% success in implementation. You might see that as a negative, and you might be like, man, that's kind of a downer. It's not. It's a fantastic opportunity for you to go back in. Let's say you missed the transaction or the purchase of that specific technology service. It could be a SIM, could be EDR, could be MDR, could be monitoring and alerting, could be a data center operation, could be an application project. 70% of those projects that maybe you didn't get a piece of are going to fail. So stay in contact, stay engaged. Quest can come in and help you augment, manage, support, improve, tune any of those deployments. I don't care if it's a firewall, don't care if it's an application development project, don't care if they've migrated from one data center to another. There's going to be problems in the market. Things are getting complex. Stay in touch. Let us know if we can come in and help. Huge, huge opportunity. We're continuing to see the vendors, the OEMs, the manufacturers push the product and not necessarily care about what happens after the product is purchased. That hasn't changed. That's not a new story. We're all trusted advisors on here. We know what happens when people are trying to make quarterly and annual results. Not the business outcome isn't always the focus. Again, you might be like, man, Adam, you're kind of being a downer here. Not being a downer. That's a great opportunity for us to go in there and help them meet the objective that they initially tried to. The vendors are going to do what the vendors are going to do. The manufacturers are going to do what the manufacturers got to do. They're publicly traded. They got to hit those numbers. God bless them. They're pushing the ball forward. We get to come in there and help operate and execute and help your customers get what they need out of that acquisition, right? So this is where, just real quick on our strategy, where we're successful and where people are in typically a high probability of moving forward with something is when they get themselves in a little bit of trouble. All of our customers, every single one of our customers is in one of these states right now. They're growing, they're even keel and kind of operating on normal. They may be a little overconfident. Maybe they think they got what they don't. And then some of them are in trouble. This could be an incident response, a security issue. This could be maybe they bought something and they didn't quite know what they purchased and they're not quite getting what they need out of it. It could just be, hey, someone, backhoe fade cut some fiber to the building and they're in trouble. Everyone falls into trouble and pain. And this is typically when organizations need the most help. We can help in any of these organizations, but typically we get the most probability of a client taking action is when they're in a little bit of trouble, a little bit of pain. They recognize it and they want some help. And the one thing that you all do so well is you're with these customers all the time. You know when they're growing, you know when they're maybe a little bit over their skis, and you know when they're just, hey, steady state, business as usual. This is when you can understand, hey, when's a good time to bring in Quest? When can Quest really help me execute and save someone's, operations or help them get out of a little bit of trouble? That's where we've built a company to deal with trouble. That's how we built our company. We work with a lot of TSDs, right? Love them. Fantastic organizations that help you and your teams present solutions to your customers. Quest is an odd duck. Gary led with that on the intro here, and some pain points that don't necessarily show up in the back office, right, of the TSDs are opportunities that are big revenue sources for you as a trusted advisor, right? So Quest can help with staffing, right? We can help place people in these organizations to help them execute on projects. We're coming up on the end of the year. Projects are stacking up. Budgets need to be addressed. Things need to get spent. Projects need to be closed. That's where Quest, we're seeing a lot of partners reach out saying, hey, can you guys help with people, right? There's a huge gap, and this again is not going to be listed in the back office. There's a huge gap sometimes between what was sold in Q1 or Q2 and what's actually gotten implemented over the rest of the year. So we're closing out Q4 for the fiscal year right now. A lot of things were sold, a lot of products were sold, a lot of solutions were sold, Microsoft bundles, Cisco, Fortinet, Palo Alto, all the major vendors, cloud solutions, Azure. A lot of things were purchased this year, right? And we're going to see a lot more things purchased next year. Quest can help your clients get the most out of what they've invested in. That could be tuning their monitoring software. That could be helping out with their endpoint protection and their policies around security. That doesn't show up in a nice vertical chart, right? So we love to get involved to help the customers get the most out of what they've invested in, right? So that really helps. Another area where, from a pain standpoint, incident response. We average about 3 to 4 incidents every week of new customers coming into Quest through our partner channel asking for help. It could be a malware outbreak. It could be they're being held ransom from a ransomware outbreak. It could just be they they have some concerns around their endpoints and what their end users are doing, where they're going online and those types of things. So those are security pain points that you don't necessarily have to throw a product at it. You don't necessarily have to throw a new solution at it. It could be a tuning engagement, build that trust, help them execute on what they're trying to do. And then, the DIY customers, from a design and development and data migration and application integration, performance issues, all of these gaps can happen at any time. So staying in contact with them and then reaching out to Quest, you're not going to see us in the back office of, hey, this organization is having a SQL database issue and they don't know how to integrate that with their Workday or their Salesforce or their Microsoft Dynamics deployment. That concept doesn't fit into a nice little chart, right? It just doesn't, just the nature of it. So when you think about Quest and your customers' pain points, think about Quest that, hey, we can come in there and address the complex, right? We can knock out the simple ones too, but the complex opportunities where things are challenging, it doesn't necessarily fit cleanly into this is an EDR solution, or this is a SASE solution, or this is a firewall as a service or a colo solution. Those are all building blocks. Those things all have to work together. You're the glue that helps make those things execute together. Quest can facilitate that, and we can help you help your customers close the gap there. The last one I'll mention, I think we're going to see a big uptick in this next year, 2025. Had a little bit of a pause with it due to market interest rates in 2023 and going in 2024, but mergers and acquisitions and governance around integrating new companies and tying things together, migrating from Google to Microsoft, putting people under one Microsoft tenant, helping them shore up their licensing. I think the trust advisor community, you guys are going to see a huge pain point in people overpaying for unused licenses. The private equity guys and the mergers and acquisitions teams, they are drilling down on what people are spending every month from an OpEx standpoint, and they're going to try to optimize that. We've seen partners get purchased and bolted together and do this kind of thing. Quest helps with that. We help automate that. We help understand that. And we really help that through the due diligence process. So again, these things don't fit cleanly into a box. So I appreciate you guys hopping on here to listen more about this. These are amazing opportunities, billion-dollar market here, a lot of things we can do. So, and here's an example and a case study of exactly how this works with a partner, right? So this is one of my favorite case studies we have. This goes back a couple of years, but want to let you guys know how these types of things build, right? So we got initially engaged with a reasonable sized firm, nothing crazy, nothing huge, not like, Fortune 100 or anything like that, but a great firm, great business, Pacific Northwest. They have about 20 locations, about 200 technology users in the organization, supporting about 1,400 residents, right? This was a assisted living facility, senior care facility, with about 20 different residential locations around the Pacific Northwest. They brought us in for firewall support initially, right? Started out with a nice contract, right? So new MRC, month 0, we meet them, little sales process, partner brings us in, we analyze their existing deployment of firewalls. Hey, how do we support this? How do we manage this? How do we maintain it? Ended up being around, the total service package for them was about an $8,000 a month gig. Not a bad gig, great service level agreement, love those all day. But what was exciting about it was after about month 3, we started kind of continuing the conversation, and they moved into asking us for some help desk. So we bolted on some help desk for their 200 users, right? 6 months down the road, so we're talking 2 quarters, they have a security incident. Someone within the organization clicked on a link and they had a security incident. We were already engaged from a help desk and a firewall monitoring and support standpoint. So we were able to respond to that, isolate, contain, and remediate. But it did address some pretty significant gaps that we had been talking to them about ongoing, since our initial engagement. They decided, hey, we need to bring in some serious firepower here. So they started talking about our cybersecurity services. We bundled in endpoint, SIM, and IR. So add $11,000 to that. So within 6 months, we kind of 4x'd the initial, 3x, math's not my strong suit, about $26,000, right, in MRR, right, just in the first 6 months. You go through it, you bolt on backups. They needed help with that. They decided, hey, we want to have a consistent monthly recurring charge, even if we have to grab some ad hoc support outside of the SLA. Awesome. Bolt in Tox there. Bolt in the ability for them to leverage our entire bench at any time, right, to help them execute a task. And they decided as a business decision, they wanted that consistent monthly spend rather than the incremental changes in T&M. They allocated $4,000 a month to leverage our people anytime they want and draw against that retainer. So we're moving to $33,000 a month. Then we decide, hey, they want to audit some things. They had some new compliance issues coming down. So again, these are all different areas, different building blocks, different service categories when you go to the back office that can grow and have very, very limited and very, very short sales cycles because you brought us in, we build the credibility, we execute on the outcome that they're looking for, and you keep just bolting on monthly reoccurring revenue, right? So a big one came 2 years in, we built credibility, they know us, they've operated with us. We put together a firewall as a service. Before this, we were just supporting the firewalls they had already invested in. We're putting it firewalls as a service and telecom aggregation services. The partner was cool with us bolting in all of the telecom as well. So we purchased that from our wholesale relationships with the national carriers, and we bundled in the endpoint, which is firewall as a service, and we added $17,000 to that as a service and under a 3-year contract and kind of bundled the whole thing together. So we've gone from $8,000 to $54K a month in MRR. And this isn't a huge company, and this was well within their budget of what they were looking for. But again, this is a 200 user account. They got 20 locations, 200 users. They're supporting a lot of residents, but this isn't a massive account. They had $32 million in annual revenue when we initially met them in 2021, right? So it's not a huge account. There are, just so everyone on this call, why I'm so excited about this type of model, there are 10,000 accounts in the United States alone that fall into this demographic. 10,000, okay? Huge, huge opportunity to help organizations achieve an outcome around their IT services. So the last one I'll mention on here is the managed Wi-Fi service that we did. Really powerful. You saw the pizza box slide. I like to call it kind of the keystones of our IT services. This was a huge bundle for that because it was our managed Wi-Fi service that included the hardware acquisition that we amortized over a 4-year period. We ran the cabling project, so we managed and deployed all the drops. We installed all the drops and the APs and the servers and the IDF and MDF requirements. And we included ongoing support and end user support from the resident's perspective for $24,000 a month. Huge project. One organization, one project manager for the customer to coordinate with and for the partner to coordinate with. And we bundled it all together. And we're still operating with this organization at over $75,000 a month. And it took about 2 years to get there, but it's a huge opportunity. And again, there are 10,000 accounts of this similar demographic in this medium market space that are available and that are looking for someone and looking for people who can help them achieve this outcome. Huge, huge opportunity. And we even, from an ROI analysis from the soft costs, when an organization buys hardware, it costs them 3 times that to manage it over a 5-year period. So if they spend $1 million on a hardware refresh or $100,000 on a hardware refresh, it's going to cost them $300,000 to manage, operate, and maintain that over a period of time. So when you do all that quick ROI math as far as what's in it for the customer, they're saving significantly over that 3-4 year period. So it's a business outcomes conversation. These are all technical services, but if you can have this conversation with your customers, huge upside, massive opportunity. So that kind of just goes to, like, we're default on. As long as we talk to you as the partner and you're okay with us positioning what we do and you're okay with us growing this for you, we're default on. We're asking, hey, can we help with that? Would you like us to help with that? You have a dedicated business development team that's coming into that account with you to help. And if you receive our quick quest updates every month, you're seeing exactly what we're positioning out there on your behalf to grow that account with you. So like, this is a fact, this is actually a growing percentage this last quarter, but 60% of our commissions that we're paying out are on the incremental opportunities that grow, that were Quest generated with you as the partner managing the account. So huge opportunity. We want to grow these accounts with you guys. We want to grow your MRR. Huge opportunity that we can all kind of invest in together. And to that point, right? So we got the backstory, and you kind of get the why. We're moving on with we're updating our spiffs a little bit going into 2025. I'm really excited about it. Partner team and the channel, you guys brought in 27 net new logos last quarter. So last 3 months, you guys brought in 27 net new logos, organizations that we've never seen before. Fantastic awards. So we're paying $500 directly to you on a digital gift card, right? There's some minimums here. So $500 MRC for a managed service new logo, $5,000 one-time PS engagement, or $10,000 product order, like if they buy a Switch or a bunch of desktops or something, right? So those are the minimums, but it's $500 directly to you on a digital gift card. And then what's also extremely powerful, I'd say probably 60 to 70% of those net new logos that came in last quarter with you guys that were spiffed came from capability reviews. So if you have a client who you'd be like, hey, you know what? I think Quest could be a good fit in here. We pay you $250 just for setting up the meeting for us to go through our capabilities and kind of walk through, hey, here's how we can help in these different service verticals, these different areas. Give some examples, give some use cases, $250 directly to you to set up a capability review, right? To go through how Quest can help in lots of different areas. You can help tailor the discussion, let us know what areas you want us to cover or really focus on. But again, $250 for a capability review. So those have been in place. We've been paying these a lot. I think we did over about $30,000 in spiff payments last quarter alone. Quest Pipeline, this is new, right? So this is similar to the capability review, right? $500 for a pipeline engagement, right? In these 3 focus areas. So we have 3 focus areas that we would really love your support on and love to pay you for engagements, right? So these are areas like, and we'll get into some specifics of what they are, application development opportunities, right? Organizations that are struggling with their SQL database, API integration, API security. Hey, they don't know what to do with their SharePoint. They're trying to modernize an application. They got stuff sitting over here and stuff sitting over here, and they're trying to migrate it from point A to point B. Those are fantastic opportunities. You get us on a call with them. You get us engaged in that opportunity. It's a fantastic spiff kind of engagement that we pay you $500 just for that pipeline, right on a digital gift card directly to you through email. We have a Quest Cyber Defense Suite. That's a little bit longer conversation. We'll get into it in a second. We go all the way through any of the MSSP opportunities, right? We have about 11 services listed in that. Everything from patch management, endpoint, EDR, MDR, SIM. We'll get into that, but Cyber Defense Suite, bring us in to have that conversation. Fantastic opportunity around Cyber Defense Suite. If anyone was on the forum last time, or if you've been participating in our in our boot camp series around cybersecurity services, you're familiar with our Cyber Defense Suite and the next one, which is our risk management and disaster recovery planning and BCP planning, right? So we have a risk management as a service where we come in and help organizations stay compliant. We do a business impact analysis. There's CMMC compliance requirements. We'll go through all the 100+ controls with them and help them maintain that. You're going to hear a lot in 2025 of organizations struggling to execute against the CMMC controls. So if you have a customer who's struggling with risk management or wants to talk about disaster recovery or business continuity planning, you can get us engaged in that opportunity. You just work with your national channel manager, work with myself, work with Brian, work with Gary, work with Colby, work with Nicole, work with our team and say, hey, I got this opportunity. I'd like to talk to someone about getting something lined up. Any of these 3 areas, $500 just for getting our team engaged with that client, As an example, this is our application development. We have some great content that's available on our partner portal if you want to grab it and use it. But application development services, right? So these are just examples. There's thousands of things that can start with the application conversation. So again, work with your national channel manager to say, hey, is this a fit? But it could be things if you hear challenges around SQL database or database challenges. If you hear clients who have challenges with API integration, or they're struggling to figure out what they want to do with SharePoint, app modernization, application migration, any type of cloud services migration. Just got a question from a partner just this morning before I hopped on here and said, hey, I got a 250 user environment, just got acquired. They need to move from G Suite to Microsoft. Do you guys do that? 100%. Get me on a call with them. Here's $500. Let's go. Those are fantastic opportunities. We had a case study that we'd love to share with you guys. We have a nice write-up on it if you want the full write-up. But basically, it's a perfect win in the community. It was an automobile finance organization. They were going through a core application refresh, and they were struggling with a SQL database query that was going on. So they brought us in to do a cleanup and help their DBA with an update there. Basically transitioned into a multi-million-dollar, 4+ year engagement, helping them with that core application, right? And it just starts with a, small database review, or, hey, can you guys come check out why we don't think this API is configured correctly? Or can you come help us out with this and this? Clients are struggling to find good people and good resources in the application space. So $500, get us on a call, we're good to go. The Cyber Defense Suite, this is a lot. This is a lot of different things. Again, this content is online and available for you guys. There's a training in our resources tab around how to position Cyber Defense Suite. We just did finishing up a 6-part boot camp series that's in the resource tab on our partner website for how to position this. But this is all MSSP services. Lots of different capabilities here. Endpoint security, email security protection, patch management, password protection, MFA. Don't have to read all of them here, but this is a lot. A lot of clients are struggling with how to leverage this. We just closed like 2 weeks ago, actually, an awesome nonprofit, 250 employee, agent-based organization where they have agents out in the field. So they had a current MSP who was, when we first got involved, it was about a 3-month sales cycle with some of the folks from one of the Upstack acquisitions. Great guys. Did a fantastic job. Going to have them on here next time to talk about it in detail, to give you kind of a full case study. But their current MSP, they kind of thought they were doing stuff. They kind of maybe they had backups. It was very unknown. They were very uneasy with what was actually happening. And these agents that were out in the field were in the healthcare space. So they had personally identifiable information. They had healthcare information. They had HIPAA compliance concerns. It was a little rough for them from a, hey, are we getting what we think we're getting? And they didn't have anything on SLA. So we were able to come in there and bundle in some significant MSP services, and we saved them about 10% from what they were paying for from a CapEx standpoint on their own on an annual subscription. So awesome use case. We'll have the partner on here. We just won it, like, I think about 2 weeks ago. So it's getting fully implemented. Really excited about that one. But again, for pipeline, anyone who needs help with endpoint detection, monitoring, alerting, vulnerability scanning, patch management, penetration testing, multi-factor authentication, any of these Cyber Defense Suite services, get us on the phone with them, bring our team in, $500 to get us engaged. Great pipeline. The last one is around risk management. Risk management is a business conversation. There's a couple different ways we can get involved. We love to do workshops. It all starts with a conversation. So if you would like to reach out to your national channel manager and say, hey, this customer I'm working with is struggling with this piece of DR, or they're struggling with figuring out how to get an IR service in place that's readily accessible in an emergency. let's set up a conversation. $500, let's set up a conversation and get that process started. It could move a lot of different directions. It could move into one of these workshops. It could move into a full-blown assessment. It could move into a little bit more of a consulting engagement and risk management as a service. But we have a managed governance practice that focuses on business impact analysis, business continuity planning, incident response. These are all things your clients are struggling to deal with and are looking for help with. And you can bring them in and, everyone likes, we're going to the holidays right now, Christmas shopping, New Year's, got to buy some new wardrobe for 2025, whatever it is, $500 directly in your pocket on a digital gift card. So really, really excited about the pipeline program coming in. Now I know we mentioned a couple of times that there's a lot of different options out there. Something that's not been in the channel that we're really excited to kind of bring to the channel to you as trusted advisors is Arctic Wolf, right? Arctic Wolf for a long time has not played nice with the channel. They've had a direct force. They've been selling through the VAR community. They've kind of done their thing. About a year and a half ago, we started dialogues with them and they said, what is this channel thing? How does the trusted advisor community work? We want to know, right? They were losing, candidly. We beat them on a couple of things. Other vendors we work with have beat them on a couple of things. And they were like, we got to figure this out. So they've invested and they've participated and are supporting the idea of working directly with the trusted advisor and the channel community. And Quest we're excited about supporting that and bringing that in. So we have a process to register opportunities directly with Arctic Wolf for you as the partner of record. They have a dedicated product support and SE team that will work directly with you and coordinate with you and the TSD that you're working with and go in there and position this service, right? So Quest is facilitating that. Again, our organization is built around how can we help? That goes to our partners and to our vendors and to our customers. And Arctic Wolf and the trusted advisor community that we basically did a little bit of a census on with them. Hey, is this interesting to you? Do you want to position this? Do you have access to this? We got thumbs up from all parties. And so we put together a process where you can work directly with them. You can register the opportunity. And there's a website here that's available for you. It'll be in the notes when we send out the follow-up. So excited about that. If you want to leverage that technology, if your customers are dealing with that technology and you want some help there, fantastic option for you. Just kind of wrapping up here on the end of year concept. I know can't believe it's already less than 2 weeks from Christmas. But technical on-call support is something that we're continuing to see required in the market and adopted pretty quickly. So technical on-call support is the ability for your clients to schedule support with Quest, resources, every single type of resource that we have, right? From data cabling to desktop printer, all the way up to full DevSecOps and engineering and orchestration or incident response. Every resource in between, we put it out there. These are the ad hoc rates. It could be 1 hour, it could be 4 hours. We're billed in 15-minute increments remotely, and then 4-hour blocks when we're scheduled 24-hour advance on site. Now, the really cool thing here, we're all salespeople. This definitely helps your customers, right? This is not all here just to make money, but there's a $5,000 minimum retainer, right? And this is technical on-call support. So one of the easiest ways that our partners have been taking advantage of that $500 new logo spiff. I have yet to be on a customer call with a partner who needed help from an engineering standpoint, where we get on a technical on-call support call where they don't seriously consider it. And about 8 out of 10 are closing, right? For technical on-call support. This is a service that the middle market, and especially the clients that we all deal with, really, really need help with. So, basically you get your normal commission plus a $500 logo, new spiff, plus this gets us involved, like we talked about earlier, and ramps up significantly. So Great option there. Any questions on the spiffs, on the promos, on the anything like that before I kind of jump into a couple more resources here? Brian, I love the Christmas tree background there. That's fantastic.
That's the Marriott lobby in Atlanta. That's not mine.
Oh, you should have taken credit for
I
that.
should have
Man.
taken credit.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Yeah. I'm not that talented.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, we talked about it a couple times. We have the Quest Partner Portal. If you haven't seen it or you haven't visited it, please come check it out. You do not need a username and password. It's just behind basically 2 clicks on our website. So you click on partners and then you click on access the Quest portal. You can log in and you don't log in. You just drop into it. It has all of our content, all of our materials. You can jump into our resources tab and get some training. If you want to listen to our podcast and, hear us joking around about technology and things going on the channel, we have a pretty cool podcast called The Incident Report. Or if you want to just register an opportunity, you can absolutely do that there as well. So these are some of the resources and data sheets that are available to you guys. These are all online and available to you. They'll be we'll send the deck out for you guys as well, but these will be, accessible. So professional services overview, infrastructure, data center. Brian and I and Gary and I hear it all the time. I didn't know you guys did that. And we're really trying to not hear that in 2025. So we're going to try to tell you guys all the things that we can do, but also something that we're hearing loud and clear from our partner community is help us execute and help us position these types of services. So we not only want to tell you, hey, we do staff augmentation, but we have a program that if you're interested in it and you'd like to apply for it, is our Playbook program, which is a full support area where we can help you put together and leverage what has worked for our teams to take to your team and message out to your clients, not around a specific vendor, but around a certain capability if they'd like help with it. So if you're looking to get more into the application space or more into the staffing or technical on-call support or cybersecurity and would like our help, we have a process where you can apply and we provide marketing and ongoing support around, hey, Quest, it's great you tell me you do all these things, right? And Adam gets on here and is all fired up about cross-selling and upselling and bundling stuff together. How do we actually do that? We heard you guys loud and clear this year. We've put together playbooks. And I think it's a really unique offering in the channel is around playbooks. And these are available to you as partners if you'd like to apply to basically participate in the program. So far, we've taken on about 18 partners who are kind of investing in this program with us. And when I say investing, I mean, it's time, it's marketing, it's a kind of a focused effort around putting out content, putting out drip campaigns around email, putting out those types of like proactive, conversations and outreach to your customers and to new customers. We want to help you guys sell. We want to help you guys execute on all of this different stuff, right? And Darcy's on the line right now. Darcy put together some amazing content and packages for some of our partners. And I'm super excited about it. We're starting out with application development and we're going to be moving through our entire offering throughout the year. And we're looking for partners who want to invest time in understanding how to position that and grow that. So this is all the data. These are all the resources that we have. And yeah, that's my overview for the day. Again, thanks everyone for hopping on. I think we can kind of jump into some of the questions that were provided, or if anyone has any questions they'd like to ask now on the live session and you're comfortable coming off mute, you're welcome to throw them out there or feel free to heckle as necessary. That's fine too.
Hey, Adam, real quick. I've received a couple of texts, and then Jim also put in the chat. As far as this presentation, will Darcy and Justin be sending it out to the participants?
Yeah, we have a follow-up message coming out that'll include the material. Yeah, and then this is Bad jokes and everything is recorded and will be in the resource tab on the partner portal as well.
Adam, it's thank you. That's great content. Not to summarize what you put out there, but great job. And again, I think where we sit in our chair, and Brian could probably say the same. There's a lot of suppliers in the portfolio, obviously, and people, it's not how are we better, how are we different. It really is around the professional services. I would say are things that again don't show up in the back office. We totally understand the customers wanting to buy things and do transactions is a big piece. That's the channel's kind of set up to support that. 3 bids and let's get a bunch of people in here and go fight this part of it out. There's a huge market opportunity there. At the same time, where we're really seeing our traction is on the professional services. People really need help. They don't have the staff internally. They don't have the resources, the expertise for all the things that you've heard of on this side here. And if it's not part of your talk track, a lot of times just asking that next question is really huge. That's where we've had success, and that's why the pipeline is so big for us. When we do hop on the call, we really do tune in, maybe to a talk track that's new or not familiar or whatnot. Just asking that next question can be pretty organic. Depending upon the answer, you could go down different roads on that side. So that's where we found our success, and the reason we're putting the pipeline out there doesn't even need to be the awarded sale. It's just getting in that conversation. We're getting a lot of activity out of that. So yeah, Adam, appreciate your covering that as well. Did a great job there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, excited about that. And again, appreciate the partnership and all the support this year. And I think 2025 is going to be a great year to get engaged in some new conversations.
Okay.
All right.
Adam, I think the next page has some how to engage. I think is just wrapping up with a couple of things here. Again, we'll send this out. There's all the portals. We'd love to have you up too at the I think we mentioned this on other conversations. We have great success if you as a partner or you as a partner and one of your customers would love to come visit us in Northern California, please reach out to Brian, Adam, or I. We'll figure out how to get you out there. We have a great facility, great organization that shows really well to be able to, people look around and say, wow, you really do all these things. So we really like to invite you to those executive briefings. Those sometimes get people off site rather than us going out there. It shows well. So please don't hesitate to ask about that as well.
Yeah. Then the opportunity registration, partners at questsys.com. That'll hit our team. Again, if you want to do a deep dive capability review, reach out anytime. Gary, myself, Brian, anyone on the team would love to talk specifically around any capabilities you have or would like to learn about what we're doing. And then also we love to understand, like, you as a partner, what's your business plan? What's your strategy? Where can we help? Where can we fit? Where can we not? Those types of conversations, really want to learn that. So bring you guys in. Again, like Gary said, anytime you want to come out to headquarters, we'd love to host partners that come on out. And then always bring this up, but just because it's kind of the nature of the season, things are going to calm down. People are going to start checking out over the next couple of weeks. And usually that's when bad things happen. So ir@questsys.com. If you need any help, if you need any support, if you have anybody in your network or any of your customers that needs emergency support, ir@questsys.com is a 24/7 monitored mailing that basically hits all the powers that be at Quest, all the way up to CEO, and basically gets you engaged with emergency support very quickly. So if you need help,
and Adam, I'm sorry.
So go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. That does not have to be a security incident. That could be for anything for emergency support. It is the shopping season. People have websites. Someone thumbed the configuration. There's a performance issue. You've got anything along those lines that needs like help like now. That's just not for security incidents. It's for any emergency response. It's called incident response, but that's also an incident. So it is the shopping season. If you do have some people who are have an online presence and need help, that's another area you can engage as well.
Yeah, and this is I get questions from partners often like, well, yeah, but they're not a customer. That doesn't matter. Like we most of the I'd say 95% of the IRs that come in are non-Quest customers. We haven't worked with them before. So, and we get teams spun up and online with them to address things within about 15 minutes. So it's a serious emergency response, break glass for security, as well as general emergencies. We had one customer who lost all their licensing because their MSP went away and didn't pay the bills for all their access points, and it shut down their manufacturing facility. So they didn't know what to do. They thought they were maybe under some kind of security attack. It was really just a licensing situation that we got engaged, helped them recert their licenses, and their network came back online. So yeah, great point, Gary. Not necessary. So real quick, this is the team. This is the organization that's built to support you as partners. Again, thank you very much. And thank you very much to all of our team that has been doing such a great job. So David Noel from the partner support desk and Nicole and our technical support pre-sales resources you've probably all worked with. If you haven't, you're missing out working with our VP of technical services, Mark Schachterbeck, and Dave Montano and Nick Holland. Awesome team here. This team is built to support you guys, and we're here to help. So unless Brian, any notes to close out the year for partners or anything like that you want to throw in there? I know you're on the road and in the holiday season, joining in some of the Christmas parties. But Brian, anything to close out here?
No, if anybody's going to be in Atlanta, we'll be in attendance. So look forward to seeing everybody. But no, just Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Don't forget, I mean, I say one of the big takeaways from this call, I mean, make sure you write down that email address, as Adam pointed out earlier. There's a massive uptick in incident responses. So again, ir@questsys.com. Hit our team up at 3 a.m. on Christmas Eve. They'll respond. So in the event that your customers do fall victim to any bad actors out there, I mean, we're definitely here to help. But Adam, this is the season for it. And, we always see uptick around holidays. So
Yep.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, thank you all very much. Gary, you want to close us out?
Yeah, thank you, Adam, and thank you all of our partners up there. I genuinely enthusiastically look forward to every day. Every day brings in fresh opportunities, getting to meet new people, and I'm so thankful for Quest, the opportunity, and for all of you. Makes everything wonderful. So, as Brian shared, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, enjoy your time, and we'll look forward to supporting you for the rest of the year and into 2025. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all. Oh, hey, gift card.
Oh, yeah, no, everyone, all the attendees are getting them.
Oh,
So
okay,
Everyone
cool.
gets them,
Yeah, everyone gets
Congrats.
them. Yeah.
except for you, Brian.
Yes.
Not every
Yeah.
attendee.
Yeah, not
Not everybody
everybody.
that's a partner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody that matters.
I'm going to
Thanks all.
Disneyland.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Good deal.
Right on.
Appreciate everyone. Have a great one. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.